January 15th, 2023. The world watches in disbelief as North Korea's internet suddenly vanishes into thin air. Government websites blink offline without warning, leaving the Hermit Kingdom in digital darkness. Was it a retaliation for Kim's latest provocations? A coordinated strike by rival nations? As experts scramble for answers, the truth emerges. A lone hacker, armed with nothing but a laptop and a burning desire for revenge, had brought the entire country to its knees. This is the story of P4X, the man who took down North Korea's internet, and the events that pushed him to the brink. 1 year earlier, on a cold January night in 2022, P4X sits at his desk, bathed in the blue glow of his computer screen. Known only by his online handle, this American cybersecurity researcher is about to become an unwitting pawn in a dangerous game of international espionage. As he scrolls through lines of code, a message pops up from a fellow researcher, offering a tantalizing new hacking tool. Intrigued, P4X opens the file in a secure virtual machine, a digital sandbox designed to contain potential threats. At first, nothing seems amiss. But within 24 hours, Google drops a bombshell that sends shockwaves through the cybersecurity community. North Korean hackers have launched a sophisticated campaign targeting Western security researchers with booby-trapped files. P4X's blood runs cold as he realizes the tool he just examined was a Trojan horse, concealing a backdoor for North Korean spies to slip into his system. The realization hits him like a punch to the gut. Why would a nation-state target him personally? P4X had narrowly dodged a bullet by isolating the malware, but the close call leaves him shaken to his core. As he digs deeper, he uncovers a chilling truth. He wasn't alone. Pyongyang's hackers were on a hunting spree, seeking to pilfer cutting-edge hacking tools and vulnerability research from experts across the globe. The hunters had become the hunted. P4X waits for the cavalry to arrive, expecting the full might of the U.S. government to swoop in and neutralize this brazen attack. Days turn to weeks, and weeks to months, but the response he anticipates never materializes. The silence from official channels is deafening, leaving P4X feeling abandoned and exposed. As the weight of the situation bears down on him, a spark of defiance ignites within. If the powers that be won't act, he decides, then he'll take matters into his own hands. Over the next year, P4X channels his fear and frustration into a singular mission: to make North Korea pay for its audacity. He pours countless hours into studying the country's fragile internet infrastructure, identifying vulnerabilities, and crafting a plan that would make even the most hardened hackers pause. All the while, he wrestles with the moral implications of his actions. Is he crossing a line? Or is this a justified response to a regime that had tried to violate his digital sovereignty? As the anniversary of the attempted hack approaches, P4X makes his move. With a series of carefully orchestrated attacks, he begins to dismantle North Korea's online presence piece by piece. Government websites flicker and die. Email servers grind to a halt. The country's already tenuous connection to the outside world becomes even more fragile. The impact is immediate and far-reaching. North Korean officials scramble to understand what's happening, their usual iron grip on information slipping through their fingers. International observers watch in amazement as one of the world's most isolated nations becomes even more cut off from the global community. But for P4X, this is just the beginning. As news of his exploits begins to spread, he grapples with the consequences of his actions. Has he opened Pandora's box? Will his one-man crusade escalate into something far beyond his control? And how long can he maintain his anonymity in a world where secrets are increasingly hard to keep? The story of P4X and his digital war against North Korea raises profound questions about the nature of modern warfare, the power of individuals in the digital age, and the blurred lines between activism and aggression. It's a tale that could only unfold in our interconnected world, where a single person with the right skills and motivation can challenge an entire nation. As the dust settles on P4X's initial assault, the cybersecurity community buzzes with speculation. Some hail him as a hero, a digital David taking on the Goliath of a repressive regime. Others warn of the dangerous precedent he's setting, arguing that vigilante justice has no place in the delicate balance of international relations. P4X himself remains conflicted. The rush of successfully striking back at his would-be attackers is tempered by the weight of responsibility he now carries. Each day brings new challenges as he works to stay one step ahead of those who would unmask him. The North Korean government, humiliated and enraged, throws its considerable resources into tracking down the mysterious hacker who dared to challenge them. As the weeks pass, P4X's attacks evolve. What began as a personal vendetta transforms into something larger. He begins to target systems used by North Korea to evade international sanctions, disrupting the flow of illicit funds that keep the regime afloat. His actions draw the attention of intelligence agencies worldwide, some of whom see potential in harnessing his skills for their own ends. The pressure mounts as P4X walks an increasingly fine line between activism and outright cyber warfare. He knows that one misstep could not only expose him but potentially trigger an international incident. The very government he once hoped would protect him now views him as a potential liability. In the shadowy world of cybersecurity, alliances shift like sand. P4X finds unlikely allies among dissidents and human rights activists who see his actions as a blow against oppression. But he also makes powerful enemies, not just in Pyongyang, but in the corridors of power in his own country. As the anniversary of his first attack approaches, P4X faces a moment of truth. How far is he willing to go in his quest for justice? Can he justify the potential collateral damage of his actions? And at what point does his crusade become indistinguishable from the very tactics he sought to punish? The world watches and waits, knowing that in the digital age, the actions of one determined individual can reshape the landscape of global politics. The story of P4X serves as a stark reminder of the power and peril of our interconnected world, where the lines between hero and villain, justice and vengeance, are increasingly blurred. As we peer into this digital abyss, one question looms large. In a world where a single hacker can challenge a nation-state, what does the future hold for international relations and global security? The answer, like P4X himself, remains hidden in the shadows of cyberspace, waiting to be uncovered.